Army combat medics, also known as 68 whiskeys, have been known for saving soldiers on the battlefield for years. We're going to see start to finish how these combat medics are trained and what they learn along the way. Let me know down below in the comments if you guys would want to be a 68 whiskey. Let's go ahead and send it. Army medic time.
Hey, we got a gunshot.
GSW chest.
Where?
All right.
Down. GSW
He's
chest.
passed out. Quickly take his pants off.
Put your finger on his butt.
Because you got to check core temp, you know? You got to see if they're going into heat cap 5. Their body's overheating. So, what are all medics good at? They're going to rip those pants down, take the finger, insert, determine the temperature. Oh! Then you come back to life. Has anybody got core temp? Let me know down below in the comments if you know what core temp is. It basically means they shove a piece of metal in your butt, and it's a thermometer. It's really great. All right, guess we're starting off with the story. I've never given anybody the silver bullet, but I've definitely done it. And bro, after being in the field for hella days, and you insert that thing into someone's booty hole, first of all, it's not that easy. You got to take the pants off. You got to lift up the cheeks, bro. Just a little bit. Not. You're not supposed to like, because then that's like disrespectful. You can hurt them. So you're just supposed to do like a little like stench, bro. Just. And you're like, oh, it's like warm heat smell, bro. And then sometimes you got dookie booty on there, but you know.
Injuries you see here are simulated.
Okay, the Army medics are pretty cool, but they're not as cool as today's sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by World of Tanks. World of Tanks is free to play with over 100 million players worldwide and for PC. There's more than 600 tanks, destroyers, artillery, light, medium, and heavy tanks, and there's always a new way to play. I personally love the graphics of this game, and it's incredibly immersive, which allows you to roll out across open fields, climb steep hills, sneak through forests, tear across deserts, and pick up your battles in urban and industrial zones. You need to rally your teammates, devise a battle plan, and destroy your competition in over 40 battle arenas. The historical accuracy and inspiration mean realistic models and vehicles. The characteristics that make you feel like you're inside of a real tank. And while you're destroying the competition, you can earn experience, modify, and upgrade your tank, creating a steel beast ready for any challenge. So download World of Tanks using the link in the description below. And once you download the game, use the promo code TANKMANIA to get a free 7-day premium account with over 250,000 credits. The premium tank Excelsior, which is tier 5, 3 rental tanks from 10 battles each, the Tiger 131, the Cromwell B, and the T-34. So once again, huge thank you to today's sponsor, World of Tanks.
On dummies or fellow trainees.
Okay.
The main element this training recreates is the stress of being a combat medic in the field.
Let me tell you something it does not recreate is the stress of being a combat medic at all. That's real life stressful. And honestly, it's not like the old days when like combat medics like did a bunch of shit. Nowadays, it's kind of like, hey, combat medic, I think I'm dehydrated. Do you have any Serasport? Do you guys have water or like IVs? So like, oh, we can give you eyes. We're like, no, don't touch us. We'll do it ourselves. We don't trust you. I feel like the training of combat medics has like seriously deteriorated over the years, and it's like not very good anymore.
Exercise consists of 3 parts: dismounted patrol,
We need to maintain pressure on the sex wound. Let's
a
go.
battalion aid station,
Battalion
Once he gets
aids,
blood,
got
I'm sure
it.
respiratory rate will drop.
and prolonged casualty care.
This looks way more complicated than what like our normal combat medics would have. But I'm probably just gonna refer to them as like 68 whiskeys now, because saying combat medic is just very long. I've seen people get hurt. I've seen medics come up. It's mainly just due to like heat exhaustion. But every single time there was an actual industry, you see a 68 whiskey get over there, they're like, I'm a combat medic, and you're like, out of the way, bitch. You actually just take them to the aid station or the mass cal tent or whatever, and you just get like the base physician or somebody to take care of them. 68 whiskeys be getting a boot, bro.
Because combat medics are trained like any other army soldier.
Oh, no, they're not, bro. Trained like every other army soldier. All right, so they're all infantry. Why don't we just get rid of the infantry, bro? Let these combat medics go fight the wars, go win the wars for America. Psych! Coming to a few 68 whiskeys who are like super hot. But the other ones, it's like rounds start coming in, you get in an engagement, and then all of a sudden they're just like, help! Someone will be like, oh, they're hit! Go help them! And it's like, oh, no! Don't bring them to me! They're like, get over here! And they're like,
During dismounted patrol, students are tasked with a tactical mission where they'll eventually come upon wounded soldiers. When the students come upon a casualty, the first thing they have to do is determine what type of care to give.
No, usually the first thing you do is, you get the out of the way. If they need care in the middle of pew, 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 you're gonna get shot in your I call the face, okay? Because you're a face.
Got him!
Gotcha. You're gonna get to them and you're gonna go away. You're going to drag them somewhere else.
So we start with them care under fire. They go out there, get fire superiority.
Care under
make
fire,
sure
all
there's
right.
no obvious
All right, we're
bleeding
doing care
on
under
the
fire.
arms
All right,
or
bet. That's hot.
You're getting ready to take
Bro, look at that
it down.
squat. Oh, boy, you're going to hurt your back. You're in the middle of a firefight. Crazy. You're like, oh, my bad.
Actually seeing somebody getting hurt in combat is extremely stressful. But if you have that muscle memory, because you've done this skill over and over,
it all goes out the window, bro. The first time you're not going to remember a thing. Something's going to go wrong and you'll be like, where am I? What is my name? What the are hands? Like all this crazy You're just going to see blood and you're going to be like, I don't know how to stop it. He's going to die.
They're taken to a battalion aid station. The second
aid
portion
station,
of the field
bro?
training exercise.
Where you get AIDS.
We're working on 4 to 5 hours of sleep a night, if that, because in a realistic world, medics will not have that much sleep because we're going to have patients nonstop.
Patients,
bro, medics be getting all the sleep. Are you kidding me? Medics do nothing in the field and on deployment but sit at the med tent and play video games, play rock, paper, scissors, sleep and bullshit, dude.
Students treat in this portion of the field exercise are represented by these high-fidelity mannequins that trainees first encountered earlier in their training.
Girl, close your mouth.
Training gets even more realistic when students are put through a simulated combat scenario in which they have
this
to
is
find
kind of
and
hot.
treat all while
Oh, this next
instructors
level, bro.
monitor
It was not
from
like
eyes in the
this
sky.
when I was doing.
In my control room, I'm able to see what everybody's doing. If you were to look around, you see that I have 16 cameras
not to that
throughout my
level, at
lab,
least not for
so
basic
I can actually
medic. God.
direct them right on to where
You
my
start doing like cool
casualties are,
medical courses,
so I
they have
can
like
actually
really
get
cool
a
shit
better
like this.
view.
This is kind of dumb. There's no way from here you can effectively observe how they're performing on the casualty. But I'm assuming this is just to see how they're like maneuvering and tactics, and then they're probably just talking about the casualty.
Real-time vital signs information to instructors so they can monitor the students' performance.
I'll be able to see their heart rate, blood pressure, respiratory rate, their end-tidal CO2s. It'll show me that they're still bleeding. It'll show me whether the bleeding is
you get to
controlled and the
see
time that it was
stuff?
controlled.
Oh, she's got the links to all the dummies.
This one's close.
But still,
that
bro,
one
like
didn't
you can
make
cheat
it.
the
Died
system on that. You need like
bled out.
OCs to be up on their
Femoral artery.
2 minutes.
2 minutes from the femoral artery. Those of you don't know that if you were trying to stop this you can take the fist, right? Right there. You shove the pressure, you put the pressure right in here, okay? You want to take the knee more than anything. You want to, and then to kind of like slow that down when you put a tourniquet on. Oh, dude. Bro, look at her eyes. She said, he'll bleeding out the femoral for 2 minutes. God, he dead, bro. He dead.
No, like 7 minutes.
7 minutes. They're dead.
Your patient died, and then he stopped bleeding.
He's dead. They're like, my bad.
The third block of the
Better
field
run
training
faster, bro,
exercise is the prolonged casualty care lane.
Instead of having medical evacuation assets available to you in the next hour or 2 hours, we want them to start thinking, I've done this, and then what? So if evacuation is delayed for 1 hour or 2 hours or
They start doing advanced
or 2
I want to
days,
see like
asking what else can we do for this
trachs.
patient.
I want to see NCDs.
We have a patient that is brought in from patrol. They may or may not have all their injuries substantially taken care of. So
you
therefore
gotta
they're brought to
check that
us.
whole
We have
again.
to package them, get any life-saving interventions going through us.
Bro, you're a private? Why are you 30 years old? Holy f***. Am I wrong right now?
You have someone that's on the head that's usually your lead person. They are the one.
This dude was probably like an EMT or some before. If you're an EMT, please do not, or if you're a paramedic, God almighty, please do not join the army and become a combat medic. You are so skilled above a combat medic. I'm not even gonna lie to you. The only way a combat medic would be more skilled than you. They've done like 3 tours and they've performed a bunch of in-action which we're not even fighting and anymore. We're just kind of chilling on the sidelines and
All right, give me another roll.
This dude was definitely a
And then
like
after that,
medic or
you will
something
have
before.
people on each side, designated spots of the body, left upper hemisphere, left lower hemisphere, that type of thing. Overall,
This
it
dude
just
was an
creates for a
EMT
better
for sure.
teamwork environment.
That dude's using a bunch of like basic EMT words, but even half of these medics, when I would try and talk to them like that, they're like, what do you mean left or right? Oh, you mean like their lower left leg? And I'll be like, God, I hate you.
They get an introduction to emergency medicine early on in training as part of becoming EMT certified.
I ain't gonna lie to y'all, bro. For all y'all medics I got that passed Nat Reg, some of you may know is like NREMT, which is the National Registry for Emergency Medical Technicians. You know you got the fast pass on that shit. Y'all know you got the quick write-off on it because I had done all the same shit all these combat medics did, but then when I actually was in the civilian sector and I went and got my EMT, bruh, that shit way harder and not the same shit. You guys also can't do trachs and you guys can't do needle chest decompressions, which is weird. I was the one in my EMT class. You don't learn how to do needle chest decompressions, but they just did a quick overview of it. They didn't have a needle. I carry a med pack on me at all times because I was doing executive protection at the time. And I was like, oh, do you need a needle? And they're like, what do you mean? And I whipped out my needle, my NCD. And they were like, have you done these before? I was like, I actually have. And then they're like, do you want to teach this? And so I taught the class that. I realized kind of like as a combat medic, you get to do the higher tier stuff, but all your basics are up because you're trained for that combat where everything's just throttled to the top. It's very weird. Wait, who wants to see what needle chest decompression looks like? Or Jesus Christ, I'm not going to do it, but who wants to see what the needle looks like? Yeah? Okay. Okay, I found it. So on Nico Live, I showed you guys my like shooter kit. And on the back, you guys saw my med pack. I've got like duct tape. I've got a marker. I've got gloves. I've got gauze. Just a little stuff in case something goes wrong at the range. But in here, I'm going to have to discard of this after. Because it will be not sanitary. If you need to perform a NCD, which is a needle chest decompression, basically what that means is, let's say you got shot somewhere in here or in the back and went in here. And what it causes is you have that hole, right? Boom, it goes through, but the skin stays intact. And imagine it is like something above or below. You're allowing oxygen to get into the chest cavity, but the air can't escape because it's in the chest cavity. It's not in your lungs, so you can't exhale. So what that causes is you see an abnormality in the chest, and it causes pressure because there's air, right? And this is a capsule. The air can't come out because there's a flap of skin above it or below it. It could be an organ or whatever. And it causes this chest cavity to expand and expand. And because it's expanding, it causes the lungs, it causes difficulty breathing. It can shut you down. So what you need to do is you take this needle, it's pretty long. There's the needle, right? And then you see this little flask right here. This comes off. I can move this up and down along the needle. So what you do is you take this needle and you have to find the second or third intercostal space. So it's along like the rib line. Once you find that particular spot, you'll insert, you pull this out and you leave the catheter part in the body. You'll also hear like a little like, and then what that means is you've reached that cavity. So now you can leave this in there, this little flute in the body, and you pull the needle out. So now the air can escape from wherever it's inserting at. But yeah. But there you guys go.
One of the more complicated procedures future combat medics learn is how to perform the cricothyrotomy, which might be required if a soldier sustains an injury to the face or lungs.
I call bullshit.
Sharps.
Students first practice performing a cricothyrotomy on a mannequin before moving on to real tissue.
So if you guys don't know what that is, that's where like you cut a hole in the airway in order for them to breathe.
Feel that roll.
Oh, they're practicing on
don't push
like actual tissue.
What we're doing right now is just giving
procedures students learn in training is also one of the newest additions to the program. How to perform an autologous blood transfusion.
What?
Student may find
Ain't no
in an operation
way.
site
What
need
combat
to-
medics here know how to do a blood transfusion? Let me know down below in the comments. By the way, for all of you combat medics that are watching it, you guys know I love you. I'm just with you the way any other infantryman would. And you know I'm right about half this shit. There are stud combat medics out there. That's who I learned a lot of my shit from before I started doing a lot of other medical schools and then like internal and external training. But yeah, a blood transfusion? God damn!
For several lectures, the students observe an instructor demonstration.
They
before
did a
practicing
transfusion
on a training
in
simulator.
class?
So I think initially they definitely have some butterflies, but once they see the instructors do it, you see the arms.
I ain't never
behind
done
us,
this
they get to
before. I don't
practice
know
on
how
the
to do
arms
this
before they practice on a live patient. I think that kind of fades away, and I think they're excited.
Bro, a combat medic come up to me and be like, dude, you're kind of up. We're going to give you a blood transfusion. I was like, let me die, bro. This. You're going to give me AIDS blood or some shit. I don't want it. Let me die.
In my head, I was just like, please don't kill her. Please don't kill her. I was just trying to make sure, like, I got everything precise. At the end of the day, I got it. You know,
she be getting it. Let's go. Training and all that must be so much fun. Actually, just doing the long course because, like I said, I love doing medical training. It's so much fun.
Most of the graduates will return to their home station, either in the National Guard or the Army Reserve. The rest will be assigned to their next post in the
God, the
active
majority
duty
is
force.
Army Reserve and
Look
National
at,
Guard.
the
Thanks
future
for half the
operating
effort.
environment and what
We
that
appreciate you.
Near-
Guys, if you're gonna give it, just go active duty, bro.
require
Trust.
Army medics, the training that is conducted with them is
Yeah.
far greater and more impactful than it ever has been.
Business Insider, bro. Put me on, baby. I'll stop the cussing. I'll chill out. Bro, I will hype this up. Let me do it. I need everybody to email Business Insider and be like, let Nico Ortiz be the spokesman for this, bro. Put him in the cut. He's on it. At least for the military stuff. Come on, bro. Let me do this.
You don't always know if you're guaranteed tomorrow. You may go out on a patrol one day, nothing happened. You go on a patrol the next day, you're getting shot at, you're taking
All your legs, all your arms,
your
go.
battle buddies relying
That's
on you. And no matter what,
go.
you're going to...
You potato now. Hot. Okay, bye.